Hello world, and welcome back to Minecraft. Last video, I was in the nether about to take on a bastion. I don't really know all that much about the loot inside of bastions. I've only looted them once or twice with my friends. I've never actually squeezed them for all they're worth. And that's what we're going to do here today. I've decided to abandon the dropper method for block storage because I'm going to have a lot of blocks. I just want to see how much gold is inside one of these bastions, and I have no idea the answer. As for what to do with all these blocks, I'll figure that out later. I'll probably use it as a building project in the overworld. But for now, let's focus on getting on top of this bastion, ripping the roof off, killing all the piglins, and then taking it apart for all it's worth. Luckily, it's inside of a warped forest biome, so the only mobs I'll have to really deal with are the ones that naturally spawn into the bastion from the beginning, and of course Endermen, which shouldn't be a big problem, right? Oh, I hear it. That is the sound of a ghast, and yep, there she blows. She's going to be giving me trouble this whole time because I'm going to have to clear out my own cover while digging out this bastion, so that's going to suck. It is my anticipation that this shall go without a hitch and without fail, because after all, I have the ability to place blocks, and none of the piglins do, and they're stuck using melee weapons for the most part, and crossbows. So, the way I see it, nothing could possibly go wrong. And I am free to enter this bastion, take its loot, and leave as I please, with little to no opposition of any kind. Alright, I probably deserve that. Luckily for me, hush you ghast. Luckily for me, most of my equipment is purchased from villagers, with the exception of, I think, my sword, which is purchased from a villager, but I also purchased a book and then put it on it with an anvil and stuff. So most of it I have on standby in various barrels, and I have all the duplicates in the world, because I can just buy them over and over. But we are going to try to not lose all of this loot, because they are not exactly cheap on the emerald market, and I don't really feel like grinding just so I can harvest a bastion. So we're going to do this again, but this time safely. What I'm about to do now isn't exactly rocket science. I do it in pretty much every single video. Cue the music, and let's start the mining montage, because I'm about to mine an entire bastion for all its gold. Who would have ever guessed that in a video game called Minecraft, there would have to be a mining montage every episode I make? Well, I guess anyone with common sense would, but I did find a loot chest eventually, and that was pretty cool. Inside of it was a bunch of gilded blackstone, which I'm told is the only place you can find gilded blackstone is inside of these fortresses, so I guess I really should be tearing it apart. I also found a piece of netherite scrap, which is valuable, and a book of some kind. Soul Speed 1. That's useful. As well as some bones and some other stuff. I'll be skipping over a couple of hours of footage. It's just not interesting to watch me rip the top off of a bastion and shoot all the piglins within. However, I would like to point out that I found something interesting down below, and I'm not talking about all these gold bars. I'm talking about that magma cube spawner, baby. I think I can turn this into some kind of high efficiency farm. I don't know how I'll do that in the future, but that'll have to be in a later video coming up someday in the future, who knows. For now, I'm going to grab this gold and just get out of here, because it's honestly not worth all the time I put into it. Yes, there's a large amount of gold hidden in the walls of the bastion, but you'd be better off just killing zombie piglins, to be honest. I feel like these bastions are only worth the loot in the chests, and everything else, just grab it on your way out, and then move on with your day. Speaking of the chest, let's get into that, shall we? So, we have the netherite upgrade. When you put this thing into a smithing table, it allows you to put things like netherite onto armor pieces. Apparently there's other ones called armor trims and stuff. They can all be duplicated using diamonds, and that's going to be the most important thing. It's like, oh, that's netherite. I have a piece of netherite. I didn't have to mine a crap ton of ancient debris. That is netherite. Oh, I need mending. I need mending so bad right now. Oh, and I have... Oh, no, no, no. I need... Oh, my brain just melted. Okay. We need to get out of here. Screw this bastion. Nothing else in here matters. We just need to leave and get out of here alive with this netherite ingot and this netherite pattern. I'll duplicate the pattern. I'll figure out that. And once I have a bunch of them, I'll apply the netherite to a sword. That's like the classic Minecraft thing to do, is just apply your highest tier object thing, whatever, to a sword. I really don't need a netherite pick because there's nothing it grants you over diamond, but a sword would be very powerful, especially with sweeping edge. Okay, let's all just calm down and get back on track. I'm gonna grab all my gold items. I'm gonna grab everything of high value that I probably shouldn't just leave in the nether to be pilfered by the other players on this realm server. And I'm gonna track all the way back to my base and just focus on the duplication of this netherite pattern, because that is all that matters right now. That's more important than the netherite ingot, even though the ingot is certainly very wonderful. This is the part of the video where I talk about little red buttons you can press to help me with my eternal war against the YouTube algorithm. Thank you very much if you have liked, commented, and subscribed. I appreciate your continued viewership. And with that, let's get back to the action. Tunnel vision, I say as I come out of the tunnel, is a terrible thing. I'm so focused right now on getting back to the overworld and to safety for all my loot that I don't notice a couple of things. Item number 1, I don't notice that skeleton. Item number 2, I didn't notice those hoglin piglin things until the last minute in which I had to turn around and get knocked into this lava. Finally, I managed to climb my way out of the lava and just dig into the wall to protect myself from any further potential damage. Now I do the scary thing and eat. I just hope that I don't die before losing all my stuff in this weird location. As soon as I make it back to the nether portal, I'm finally relieved. I just want to jump through the thing, get back to the overworld, duplicate this netherite scrap upgrade thingy, and then get all of that squared away into secret barrels that I can hide throughout my little overworld zone. That's all that matters right now, is conservation of the ability to apply netherite to diamond tools. Other than that, I can't think of anything else that matters at the moment. The best sword I can upgrade at the moment is my current diamond sword, which has Fire Aspect 1, Sharpness, and Looting. I think that'll be the best I can do for now. I'm also going to try to focus on getting Mending on it. You definitely want Mending on a netherite tool, because you never know when you're going to be able to get another one. Now then, we're going to go ahead and give this new sword of ours a try. Unfortunately, I don't have a mob farm yet, but in this world, since I'm not in a mushroom biome, I have plenty of mobs to go ahead and engage. Like this zombie. I don't know why I'm using arrows here. I really should be using my brand new sword. Yeah. I was going to show you clips of me constructing the project with all those blocks I mined from the Bastion and the surrounding basalt delta, but I feel like that would give away my big tour at the end of this video, so instead I'm going to skip that completely, trash all those hours of footage, and just go straight on to the tour. So let's go. This is one of the shorter videos I've made, and yet it is by far one of the longest videos I've made, whereas the other videos were grindy. They were usually grinding in only one material. This, however, took a large number of different materials, which I had to go out and get or produce here in the base. Either way, it's completed, and I'm very happy that I get to show it to you now. So, let's go ahead and take a look at what I've been working on. So, I added a large wall section which separates the shoreline from the inners of the village. This also allowed me to pretty much flatten out the village and get more building space to add more buildings. Over here we have a fisherman selling his various wares. This is just for aesthetic purposes. It doesn't really produce me emeralds or anything. And I guess I could buy stuff from him if I want, or he could get eaten by zombies, who knows. We also have a farmer in their little farmer hut over here. Of course we have some production, but it looks nice, so I don't mind it being over here. This house was an experiment. I tried to build it diagonally, and there's an iron golem inside for some reason. But I tried to build it diagonally. It looks okay. I probably won't be building too many more of that. Many of these buildings are the original buildings from when the village first spawned in. I don't really want to change them because I kind of want it to look like, you know, a village. I don't want it to look purely like my creation. If we climb up the hill, we can go to the graveyard, in which I am the only occupant. Of course, we have the death from the last episode, we have the death from the piglin brute, and we also have an additional death from an enderman. I apparently looked at them when I was doing all that stuff in the warp forest. I didn't realize it, and they came up and just killed me. So, I unfortunately didn't film it. It would have been great to film, but yep, just endermen. Sometimes that happens. We have the trash can. You've already seen that. I'll have to clean up my little building chest zone over there. We got a row of chests for storage just when you're trading with the villagers. We have my chicken farm, which is filled with chickens. I better empty that out real quick. I have a mending sword. Might as well do it. Moving on then, we have a converted home. It used to be where the brewery stand was, but now it's been converted. We have all sorts of interesting buildings here. Here we have a loom and a cauldron, so there are clothing people along with leather workers that work here. 2 each, and they all work inside of this central building. Here's the armor that they sell. I thought that was kind of interesting to put on a stand, and it's good decorative. Let's go ahead and fix this golem so it looks nice. Here we have a stonemason hut where they kind of just come and they do their thing. Of course, I can always sell and trade with them to grab various materials, or they could end up dying by zombies. They're not really part of my money-making scheme. They're just kind of here decoratively. Here we have a nice big house. I decided to build a bit of a mansion, and I went ahead and plopped some beds in it so I can get some villagers. There are about 4 villagers that live inside this big old mansion. I could always add more, but I don't think I will because I don't want them crowding it too much. And everything in this village is pretty much just aesthetically appealing. They don't actually provide me anything. Here we have a much larger fisherman's hut I decided to build. It is covered with decorative details, and it even has a dock which leads out into the water so they can cast their lines far down below into the river with safety. Here we have just some little homes that are all squeezed kind of together, like they're just built here in the central focus point of the village for safety. Here we have the bakery, which we have some baked goods and some meats on display. And when the villager comes up here to go to their job block, it kind of looks like they're just manning the table, so that's nice. We have a double farm home I built. It's just kind of a double farm home, nothing special. That's kind of the goal of all these buildings, is each individual building is nothing special, but they come together to form a very nice, aesthetically pleasing village. Here we have another double farmhouse. We have a weapon workshop. Better fix him. It's getting nighttime. This weapon workshop, I bought a whole bunch of swords and stuff and just decorated the wall with swords and axes and armors and things like that. And they pretty much come here and you can buy swords. I thought that was a pretty cool little touch. Here we have more hovels. They're just kind of tiny homes where the villagers live. Over here we have a tool workstation plus an armor workstation. So I can come and I can buy tools and armor over here. And I think they look great on these mud bricks with the kilns and stuff at full blast. I left the walls very open, so it's like it's really hot over here, and you want to constantly keep it cool. We also have that other sales booth, and if we walk all the way over here, this is the old armor work hut. I left it standing. I didn't mind it being there. It looks nice. If we come here, we have the castle, and the castle is just kind of a protected zone. Where you have warrior tents and an archery field. Of course, the villagers can't actually defend themselves, but it does look aesthetically nice to have this up. All of this was kind of Illager inspired, except it's for the villager faction. These 2 villagers are stuck on top of the roof, and I'll never be able to get them back down, so that's kind of annoying. Here we have an armory kind of tower combo. The villagers sleep here, and they also have access to these armors, which they can't actually put on, but they do look cool. I bought those from the leather worker. If we come all the way to the top, we can go on top of the wall and look out on my entire little domain island thing. There's another little tent for them to sleep in. And if we go all the way to the top, we can go all the way to this top of this tower. Come on, let's get up there. And we can just look out over everything. And cartographers will hang around here. I thought the cartographer aesthetic looked really nice, so if a villager ever finds their way up here, they'll probably get turned into a cartographer. And that's pretty much the entire project. I think it looks great. I think it looks like a well lived in, well organized little village. And that's pretty much the end of this video and the tour. Thank you all very much for watching. I appreciate your continued viewership, and for now, it looks like I'm going to be saying bye-bye!